Hi guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Penny.
And we are the Oyster Boys, and today, what are we reviewing, Penny?
So we are reviewing Rob's Belgian Witt from Malt Miller.
Okay, fantastic.
It's a beer that you kindly lent me your grandfather to brew during lockdown. So obviously we weren't allowed to see each other.
Nope.
And basically what happened was I had a bottle of Hoegaarden, I'd give it to my girlfriend, and she said, I quite like this beer. And I said, well, if I make 40 bottles, will you help me out? And she said, yes. So that's pretty much what happened. So it's your standard Belgian Witt beer. And I ironically called it Witt You Were Here.
Witt You Were Here.
Because
nice.
I wished you were here to brew it with me, but you weren't. So, and that's pretty much the story behind it. So, I mean, Belgian Witt, you know, you have your Witt beers, you have your wheat beers. You know I'm a wheat beer fan.
You're a wheat fiend.
You're a wheat fiend. So, pretty much difference between a wheat beer and a Witt beer. Unmalted wheat when it comes to your Witt beer. Malted wheat when it comes to your Weiss beers, your wheat beers you find in Germany.
Okay.
And obviously Germany, they're aiming more for your banana flavour, esters coming off. Witt beer usually spiced at the end. So that's usually tend to find a difference. So flaked wheat that was used from the Malt Miller with this. We have in the past made a sort of Hefeweiss beer where we've used malted wheat. Main difference between the two. Witt beer sort of originated between Hoegaarden and Brussels, the sort between the two towns. 1957, faded away, no breweries.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ceased to exist until a milkman decided to revive it. 1966.
Wow.
Good year for us.
That was, that was a good year.
Basically, the guy used to work at a brewery called Thompson and just revivaled it. And as it was brewed in Hoegaarden, reused that name.
Why
so
not?
The Hoegaarden we use today. Before we open it, I must say I brewed it in that April that we had extraordinarily sunny weather. So we were looking about, when I checked it, it was fermented maybe 24 degrees, and then at night dropping down to 17, so that's quite stressful on the yeast.
Yep.
Now we've got temperature control. I don't know how that's going to affect the beer. We'll have to try and find out when we sow. But I made this end of April, so it's had a good racking time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it. So,
shall we give it a pour? See how it looks.
Yes.
Okay.
Slowly. So I think this is, I've not batch primed this, I've used the Mangroves cube. So
like the carbonation drop.
The carbonation drops, it's a little bit on the heavy side on the carbonation, but I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it looks like a Hoegaarden, which is what...
I'm just swirling that up and pouring that in there just to get the rest of it. I mean, that's what you'd want from a Belgian Witt, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Heavy carbonation. Well, you want heavy carbonation with a Witt, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I mean, most wheat beers, Weiss beers or Witt beers, they always, if you're going to keg them and put them on a corny under pressure, the carbonation is a lot higher up the chart.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Than your standard lager, or definitely than your English ales.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is full of carbonation. But yeah, in terms, obviously, it's got the wheat there, so you're expecting your cloudy beer, light Witt, white, obviously,
Witt
where
beer,
the name comes from. Witt beer, white beer. In terms of look, 7.5 for me.
I mean, really. I mean, it's a cloudy beer, which you'd expect. It is light. I mean, that is a yellow sort of solid yellow block that you're looking at in the glass. I mean, I think you're being a bit harsh on yourself. I'd probably.
Well, you're your own worst critic, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. I mean, I'd say a 7.9. 7.9. So before we sniff this, what should we expect from the aroma for a Witt beer?
So the Malt Miller kit comes with coriander and it comes with your bitter orange. So end of the boil, 15 minutes, add the coriander, add the orange. So you should be getting pepperiness from the coriander, and you should be getting obviously that bitter orangeness, so a bitter fruitiness, citrusiness.
Okay, yeah.
The hops use a hallertau, but they're all at the start purely for bittering. So you shouldn't be getting much of the hops. You should be getting a bit of that sort of, maybe a slightly bit of banana-ness from the wheat. And then obviously on the back note, the coriander and your bitter orange.
Well, let's dive in for a sniff.
Yeah.
See what we get.
I definitely get the pepperiness.
Oh yeah. And the orange is definitely there as well. That citrus smell, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe lacking slightly on the banana-ness.
Well, because I was going to ask, because normally with a Hefeweizen, you'd definitely have that banana-y smell.
Yeah.
That's not really here in this. Is that because of the ingredients or the kit that we've used, or is that because of the way that you've made it? No offense to you. The way that it was made.
They use open fermenters, long, big open fermenters. They found that does dramatically increase the banana flavour, and obviously it's a yeast off flavour. So, which is a yeast off flavour that they want.
Okay.
And obviously, I've not used the Hef, which is obviously the Hefeweizen, the Hef being the terms yeast. I've not used that type of yeast. It's a Belgian Witt yeast. So, I'm assuming that it's predominantly you're not going to get that. But obviously, with the wheat, you might get the slight off flavours. And obviously, I fermented at 24 degrees. So.
Yeah. So we shouldn't have been expecting the banana flavour. This is how this beer should smell. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose when you drink and taste Hoegaarden, I would say you definitely get a slight. If I had to pick a fruit, a slight bit in that, but it should be more the coriander and the apple.
Yeah.
And the orange.
Which we are definitely getting.
Yeah,
when we
sure
smell
getting.
that,
So yeah, and I mean, again, being critical myself, and purely because I feel that the fermentation temperature is slightly off, I still feel I'm slightly getting maybe that what people call the homebrewy, slightly off chemically taste smell. But I don't know if, again, that's me being harsh on myself.
No, I don't think that's there.
For me, I'm getting the orange and the coriander. It's not flying through. 6.5 for me.
Well, I think you're being overly critical on yourself.
Okay.
There, I would go higher than that. I would probably go for a. It's definitely in the 7s. I reckon a 7.2. So it looks the part. It smells pretty much the part.
Does it taste the part?
Does it taste the part? That's the question. So, cheers.
Thoughts?
Well, it's definitely carbonated. That is definitely a gassy beer.
Yeah.
Again, that's due to the carbonation drops that you've used. But flavour-wise,
it's full of flavour, isn't it?
It's massively full of flavour. I mean, you really get the coriander in there.
Yes.
I think that coriander seed in there
comes
as well.
through, doesn't it?
And then on the back of your tongue, that sort of orange peel. It's like a very bitter orange taste, isn't it, on the back of the tongue, which is really, really nice. But as all wit beers or wheat beers, it's very refreshing.
Yes, it is. For a really nice, hot, sunny day, I just sit myself, feel like I'm sitting with a nice cold beer. I don't know, sitting in Belgium with some fries and some mussels and some mayonnaise.
But no, it's a great beer.
Well, in mouth, I think it's slightly on the thin side. Would you feel with the mouthfeel? With the wheat beers, you'd expect that big,
not syrupy, but definitely there.
Yeah, it feels maybe slightly thin.
And let me just go in again to double check.
There's nothing wrong with double checking. We say measure twice, cut once, drink twice, score once.
I mean, again, the flavour.
I feel like being critical myself. The mouthfeel is actually really good.
Yeah, the mouthfeel is good. Yeah. I mean, I like that.
Yeah.
Taste. I mean, I think the taste is.
If someone give me that, I would go and blindfolded. I would go wit beer.
For me, the taste is better than the smell. You know, it smelled good. What did I give it for the smell? 7.9.
Yeah.
I think the taste probably is an 8.2.
8.2. Wow.
8.2. Yeah.
I give this to Charlotte, my partner. Yeah. And obviously it was Brew part of it, and she had it and went, it's too hoppy for me. And I said, but I've used about 50 grams of hops.
There's no hops in it.
Yeah. And I think it was that slight off taste that, but saying that, when she drank it, it was 2-3 weeks old, very green. Yeah. Especially for wit beer. This has been 2 months rested. It's primed to be drinking, so 7.5.
Wow.
Because it is a very flavoursome beer, and it's given me the flavours that I want from a wit beer.
So Penny, what do you reckon to the price on this beer?
This was £27.
I mean, it's still cheap for a beer though, because you're going to get 40 pints out of that, aren't you?
And it's a lot of ingredients. You've got your unmalted wheat, and then you've got your orange, bitter orange, you've got your coriander, you've got your oat husks, You know, it's a lot of ingredients that go into it, spicing, but you know.
You're paying, what, £27?
Yep.
And you're getting, what's that, for 23 litres, isn't it?
23 litres, yeah.
So roughly, so it's 46 bottles.
Yeah, okay,
£27.
£27. Yeah, okay, yeah, and it's good, and
it's a good beer.
I mean, we still got ahead, you know. So, yeah, it is a good beer.
I mean, I'd probably give that a solid 7.7 on the old priceability.
I would give it a 7, purely because it's a little bit more expensive than the other homebrew kits, and it's less hops, more bitter orange, coriander that's going in at the end. That's maybe up in that price. So yeah, but it's still a good, solid price. 7 out of 10. So yeah.
Okay, good. And the last thing that we rate our beers on is sessionability.
I ride that wheat train hard.
You're basically the what is it? The captain?
Yes.
The
Yep. Yeah.
hang on. No, the guy that drives the train is not called a captain.
Oh, the driver.
The driver. you're the driver of the wheat train.
Yeah. Yes. I've had 5 bottles in the past. Could I do more than that? Yeah. I could have 7 bottles, 7 pints of these. Sessionability, yes.
Okay. That's a solid score.
Partly because I'd probably put 7 in the fridge, thinking my partner Charlotte would drink the other 3 because she said she wants to. She would go no, and I go,
yeah, she clearly would.
Well, they're cold already, so it needs drinking.
I mean, I think that's a very fair score. I mean, as a passenger on the wheat train, I don't ride as often as
There's 10 stops. When are you going to get off? There's 10 stops. I go to the very end. I get off at the 10th stop, or 7th on this.
Yeah, on the 7th.
On this journey.
I would probably get off around the 5th stop.
Wow.
No, actually, no. I'd stay on for longer than that. I'm going to
Stay
say
on for longer than that for someone that's not a wheat fan.
but since the inauguration of wheats.
Yeah.
That I went
But
through.
this was the one that converged you, wasn't it? This
Yeah.
is the beer that you actually messaged you and said, you know what? Next time I come round for a few beers,
We'll
not
do
filming or
wheats.
anything like that. I'll get a few wheat beers. And I was like, this is the man that, when we made the wheat beer last time, didn't want to take a bottle home.
No, but yeah, I missed out. I missed a treat. I've missed out on so much wheat joy.
Wheat joy.
And I think I may even stay even longer than that. I mean, maybe I'd make it to the 6th stop.
Yeah. Wow.
I think I'd make it to the 6th stop. I think 6 out of 10.
A really solid score. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Right, guys, so the scores are in for this beer, and here is the Oyster score for that drink. If you like what you saw today, why don't you like and subscribe, check us out for some more videos coming up, and then check the links in the description down below. We're going to have links to the Instagram page. We've got the Oyster scores for every beer that we've ever tried. And you were saying that the Malt Miller Sellers kit.
Yeah, Malt Miller Sellers kit comes as 1 pack. Go on the website, check it out.
Yeah, to make it easy for you, we're going to have a link to that kit in the description down below, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oysters out.